Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new up in this place, my name is Ntwaniengomane. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for clicking on this video yet again. If you're passing by, you have not subscribed, you have no idea what we do here. I'm Ntwani and we talk about all things careers. Here I share my journey from an aspiring CA to now a qualified chartered accountant, and I give tips and tricks just like the one I'm going to give in this video about how to advance your own careers, things to look out for. So if that's something you're interested in, stick around and maybe click on that subscribe button. In today's video, I actually want to talk to people who are looking into getting a new job, or people who want to move to a different job. Maybe you're in your third year of articles and you're looking at prospective jobs, or maybe you're just outgrown your role and you're looking for something new. I want to speak to you and I want to discuss how to research salary information. I know this is quite an unspoken topic, but I just want to share with you guys my tips of what I use or what I have found out lately about how to research salary information for a prospective role. At the end of the video, I am going to give you a little bit of tips working with recruiters and how to go on about that salary conversation, because we know a lot of recruiters come to you with a ballpark figure and they say, look, our client is offering this much, and then it's up to you to take it or leave it. But there are ways in which to have that conversation so both parties are happy at the end of the day. But without any further ado, let's get on to today's video. The first thing that I want to share is on how to get salary information. I think there's about 4 of them. The first thing is salary surveys. Salary surveys are good and I recommend them because they come from well-trusted sources or well-trusted recruitment agencies. They have taken into account roles that have been offered and packages that have been accepted by an employee. So it shows a little bit of fair value and more insight into what is currently happening. My favorite salary survey is by Robert Walters. So they do an annual salary survey, and this can be for a few geographical regions. I know they have it for South Africa if you are in South Africa. They also have it for the UK in case you are evaluating a new UK role. What I like about them is that they break down their information into industry. So you can look at accounting and finance, you can look at engineering, you can look at legal, you can look at sales, marketing, IT. There's a lot of industries included in their report. And secondly, they look at the role or the title of the role that you're looking into. So maybe you're looking into being an audit senior, or you're looking to be in a attorney role, or whatever role you're looking for. They probably have it in that annual report or annual survey. And then they also classify based on the size of the company, and they have a range between 0 to 250 employees. So companies that have between 0 to 250 employees, and companies that have more than 250 employees, and this will be like your big 4 firms, and this would be like your multinational companies, for instance. And then they also tell you what's in demand, in terms of the industry, in terms of the kind of roles, in terms of the kind of skills that are in demand. So maybe if you want to upskill yourself into something that's more relevant in today's age, in terms of IT, in terms of whatever you're interested in, but you just want to see what is in demand, what could I get a job for quicker, they also give that insight, which is absolutely great. And then they also do they give you the salary that is offered in the market, excluding a bonus, excluding benefits. So the salary that you see there in the annual survey is normally the base salary, right? So I like the Robert Walters one because it gives you an indication of what are people being offered in the market and what are people accepting in the market, because Robert Walters is a world-renowned recruitment agency. So that's the first one. I will leave all the link to these sites in the description box. The second one is the Michael Page annual salary survey as well. So Michael Page is also a recruitment agency, just like Robert Walters, and they do salary surveys as well. They also break down the information in sort of the same format that I've just explained with Robert Walters, so you can get a comparison between what is Robert Walters saying and what is Michael Page saying in their report. So another thing to note with salary surveys is that they tend to put the lowest range, the highest range, and the averages. But also remember that averages that are shown in there would not be indicative of a specific company. It'll be a lot of people entering this information from a lot of different firms. So you might have to do a little bit more into digging, a little bit more into your research, which is where the next point comes into play. So the second point is user submitted salary data points, and you get user submitted data points from sites like Payscale, sites like Glassdoor. I like using Payscale and Glassdoor. And I'll leave the links in the description box as well. So in here, right, people come in, so me, for instance, or you go onto the Payscale website and you say, I'm evaluating a job, or you're evaluating a job offer. And what these sites do is they will ask for your information, and I think that's how they gather their data, is that anybody who wants to use the site has to enter their information first. So if, say, I'm evaluating a job offer that I got, they would ask me for my details, where I work, what role I have, how much I earn, where I'm located, how big is the company that I'm working at. So for me to get the information about the prospective role that I want, I have to give in information of my current role right now. So that's how they get their information. It's not always representative of the most likely salary that is being paid out in the market out there, because it is quite subjective. The third place that you can look at for your salary research is legitimate job listings, and emphasis on the word legitimate, guys, because you don't want to go on a job listing that says newly qualified CA, we're offering you 2 million rand. I mean, think about it. How likely is it that a newly qualified is being offered 2 million rand? So emphasis on the word legitimate here. You have to make sure that the job listing source is trusted, it's reliable, all those things we do in order to make sure that the information that we're getting is accurate, is reliable, and is from a source that is independent as well. So where can you find legitimate job listings that will give you a salary information or salary range for that role? The first place that I would recommend is LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, if you click on that job tab on there, so let's say you search auditing or audit senior or whatever, and you click on the jobs, it'll give you a listing of all the job posts that relate to that title. And then some posts may have a salary range posted in there and some may not. But if you want to make sure that all your job posts that you see on LinkedIn actually have a salary range, you may consider upgrading your LinkedIn profile to a premium account. If you upgrade to a premium account, then you have access to prospective salaries that are posted with jobs. I know they have a trial period, so if you are just assessing a job role for now and if you like, oh, I don't want to pay a lot, you can just do the trial period and then look up salary ranges for that prospective role. The second thing is the Michael Page website. The Michael Page website, the one I referred to in the annual salary report, they also have job listings in there, and if you can find a similar job listing, you can see what the salary range is. They normally post salary ranges as well, so you can see what the salary range is. Just be cautious that you are comparing apples with apples. So if you're looking for a role in South Africa, make sure your location on the page says South Africa, because you don't want to compare a role in South Africa to a similar role in the UK. The pay is going to be totally different, completely different. So make sure you're comparing apples with apples. And then the third thing is to ask your recruiters, guys. People you interact with on LinkedIn that are recruiters that are approaching you, ask them, I have a role, they're offering me this much. Do you think this is in line with the market at this area? Obviously, make sure that the recruiter person you're contacting is well vested in the location of your prospective job. So if you are evaluating a UK role, you may not get much information by asking from a recruiter who's based in South Africa and focuses on the South African market, you might want to ask a recruiter who is focused on the UK market and in that industry or that department, for instance. And then also look at company websites. Some companies on their careers tab on their website actually have a job listings that they have for their company, and sometimes they do post salary information in there to make sure that people who are applying are aware that this is the budget that they have for that role. So maybe look into that as well. I've already stated that be wary of posts that have high salaries that look so attractive. It may be a scam. And it would be better if you're evaluating a role, it would actually be better to make sure that the role is actually legitimate by going to that company's website and looking on their careers portal if that role is actually listed in there. The fourth thing is close friends and family. Yes, guys, your friends, your family, your mentors, your coaches, ask them, especially friends who are in similar roles, friends who are in similar locations that you are looking into, friends who have held similar roles in the past as well. That could help. So both current and former employees of the company that you're also looking into can help. The nice thing about this is, although I know people are quite edgy about speaking about revealing their salary information, it needs to be people who are close to you. It needs to be somebody who is close to you enough to trust you to disclose their salaries. So if you have friends that are work in a particular company that you're looking at, contact the friend and say, hey friend, I'm actually looking to get into this role. I've been offered this much. How much are people getting in that company for that role? And I feel like that is the most reliable source of information, if your friends are of course truthful and give you like the right, or give you the truthful salary package, because some people we call friends, yes, but you ask them for salary information and they can clearly see that you're being offered a very low amount and they'll still say, yeah friend, that's good. So make sure that these are people who are looking out for you as well. So the nice thing about this is that you get in time or real salary data from them, because they will tell you based on what that company is paying right now, so what they're earning at that point. They will tell you whether or not that company pays bonuses for that role, because sometimes on job ads they do say, oh no, you're gonna get a base pay and get a bonus, but they don't actually tell you that no, that company does not just pay bonus. It will depend on your performance, or it depends on the company meeting certain targets. So you need to go in there knowing all of these information. So your friends or your mentors and your coaches, preferably people who are in that organization or have worked for that company before, those will be the best people to give you like a range to say what you're being offered is good or what you're being offered is not so great. If you know somebody via LinkedIn who is at the same company, or who holds a similar role, even if it's not at the same company but maybe the same size of company holds a similar role, you can maybe ask them for a range. Guys, if you're approaching somebody on LinkedIn and you're not close to them, don't go in there and ask them, so what do you earn? Like, no, ask at least for a range to say, hey, I notice you are an AM at BDO UK. I am considering joining the firm in a similar role. What is the range of salaries? What range of salaries is BDO paying people at the moment for this role? That person, if they are comfortable enough to share that information, will probably give you a range. They don't have to disclose their own salary, but they can give you a range to say, for this role, BDO is paying this much to this much. And then you can see if your offer fits into that, or if you're on the lower end or if you're on the higher end, and you can decide whether or not that is something you want to do. So remember guys, with all these 4 ways on how to research your salary, they will not weigh equally. So you will not rely equally on salary surveys as you would sites like Payscale, Glassdoor, as you would friends who work at a similar firm, or as you would what is the fourth one, legitimate job listings. So they will not weigh the same. There are some sources that would give you more a more representative information or a more truthful information than others. And in my personal opinion, I would say credible job adverts and asking friends and family who work in that organization are the two, I feel, are the two ways in which you can get a more representative salary, because your salary adverts will show you what the market is paying for that role. It will indicate to you what is being offered in the market, and so more market related. But the numbers or the salary ranges that you get from people who work at that organization or hold similar position will give you a truthful figure in terms of how much are they actually getting paid, and so you can then decide from there. But not to say annual salary surveys are not reliable, not to say your Glassdoor and your Payscale is not reliable. They are, but personally for me, I wouldn't place much reliance. I would take it as a guide, just like every other method. I would take as a guide to say, if the annual salary survey is saying this is the average, Glassdoor says this, my brother at this firm has said they get paid that, and I've seen a job listing that says this, I can then work out a sort of an average from there, right? So the last thing on tips with recruiters that I have seen is that, guys, when you are evaluating a job with a recruiter, they will, and normally recruiters like doing this, they will ask you, hey, so how much do you earn? So you'll give them your information, and they'll tell you about the role. You'll read the specs, and then if you're interested, they'll be like, okay, so what is your salary expectations? And that question is what you need to answer from all of this research that I've just shared with you. And then they'll go on to ask you, so what are you getting paid at your current job right now? And what I've seen is that a lot of us then go on to disclose, I am getting paid X amount of money, which then indicates to them whether you're being underpaid or you're being overpaid. If you're being underpaid, this will work to your detriment, because whatever they're going to offer you will just be a little more than what you're being paid, but it's not necessarily what that prospective employer had in their budget for that role. So my tip to you is, if a recruiter asks you for your salary information, your current salary information, just say to them, I am not entertaining any job roles that are not within this range. Make your conversation with your recruiter about the role that you are looking into, and not about the past role or the role that you hold now. There's absolutely no obligation on you to disclose the salary that you're getting now, because that does not impact in any way the role that you are looking into. So if a recruiter asks you that question, just politely say, I am only entertaining roles that are between this range and this range. You do not have to disclose your salary information. And that helps you, because when a company advertises a role, they always have a budget for that role. They know how much they are willing to spend for that role. And if you come in with a lower figure, they will definitely offer you that lower figure that you want. But if you know what their budget is through asking the recruiter, so if the recruiter asks you about your last job salary, just say to them, I'm only entertaining jobs within this range. What is this company's budget for this role? And then they go ahead to tell you the budget, and then from there you can say it meets what you're looking for, or it is not within the range of the things you're looking for. So those are my tips. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it made sense and it had a bit of structure, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.